What's up, everybody? Hello, it's your girl Medusa Maybe back with another podcast, an interesting podcast, a weird and probably kind of stupid podcast, but a podcast nonetheless. So, welcome to the I Got Nothing podcast, where we talk a little bit about a lot of shit. So, I know what you're wondering. I pop up on screen and whatever, and the first thing you see is this young guy with this, goofy looking look on his face and wondering, who's that guy? Well, that's the title of today's podcast, which is The Case of the Almost Starfield Bandit. So, as you can guess, this man right here is somebody who actually was able to get his hands on a copy of Starfield, but it's a stolen copy, obviously, because Starfield is not getting released until September 1st for the early ones. And then you can get everybody else, it'll get released on the 6th if you don't have that early access. Or if you don't have the Constellation edition, which is like the super upgraded edition of the Starfield game, which, as everybody knows, Bethesda has been aching and wanting to get out for about 20 years. So you're talking from concept to execution. It's been a 20-year journey for Bethesda. So needless to say that they're taking this very seriously. Now, this young man's name is Darren Harris. He's in his 20s. I think he's mid 20s, like 25, 24, 25. And he went from being a free man to somebody who now has a felony charge against him because, for whatever reason and how, he got his hands on a copy of Starfield, and like the brilliant man that he looks to be, he actually decided to stream the game on YouTube, and he got about 45 minutes of the game out there before it got shut down due to, obviously, copyright infringement. So YouTube, from what I've read, YouTube itself took the stream down because it's a copyright infringement. The game is not allowed to be shown, from what I've read, until I think the review embargo lifts on August 31st. So people who are able to, get early copies of the game, partners and whatever that are able to get the game early, they're able to start like officially reviewing and showing parts of the game starting August 31st. So somehow this dude got a copy of the game, streamed it, and then tried to sell copies of the game to people who were able to see his little stream. And I know what you're thinking. How is he going to sell copies of the game? You can't really sell a digital copy of the game, right? Because how? Although I'm sure there are ways to do it. And all of my, techie friends and techie listeners who are tuning in, I'm sure y'all can tell me how to do it, but I'm not interested in knowing that. So I know you're wondering, like how? This dude has a Mercari shop, a shop on Mercari, okay, which is like eBay, which is like Poshmark or whatever. You create an account and then you sell shit that you own on it. This dude tried to sell copies of the game on Mercari. I don't know, what's in the water, what's in the Gatorade, what's in the food. Clearly, this dude does not eat a lot of vegetables because I just don't understand where the thought process is. Where's the intelligence? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he woke up a couple of days ago a free man, and then he went to bed with a felony charge. I'm gonna read these charges out. So he got caught. He got booked. He's in Tennessee. Okay. So he got booked by Shelby County. Felony charge of theft of property. So that fine is about, or theft of property costing $2,500 to $10,000. A misdemeanor charge of theft of property, which is about $1,000 or less, selling of stolen property. And this dude also got hit with a charge of marijuana possession. So he was able to post bail, but now he's got to face charges of possession of stolen property, attempt to sell that stolen property, and possession of marijuana. And I'm just like, Why? Bethesda is not a small gaming studio. We all know Bethesda games. They have their Dishonored series. They're the makers of Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. They did the Doom games. They did Ghost of Tokyo. They did the Wolfenstein series. Bethesda's not a small studio. Whether you love them or you hate them, Bethesda has a reputation of putting out some decent games. Some of them have been good, others, not very many people like, but they're big games nonetheless. And Bethesda is probably about one of the biggest games that will hit particularly Xbox in a very long time. It's a big game. It's over 100 gigabytes, worth of storage. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, and as I did in I think like 2-3 podcasts ago, it's Bethesda's first original game. Again, from concept to execution, it's 20 years in the making. And you, for whatever reason, woke up and chose violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just chose violence and you did it kind of dumb. So now, if convicted, if found guilty, now you're going to have a possible felony on your record. Otherwise, you're going to have misdemeanors on your record. But for what? You know what I'm saying? These gaming studios put a lot of time and effort into giving gamers these games. We have high demands. You know what I'm saying? We want games that look good, that sound good, that play well, that doesn't have a lot of kinks and all that other kind of stuff. We want stable networks, stable connections, stable servers. We want like all of that. We want everything. Gamers want everything. And then now we have the potential to get that in another game. And let's be clear, games have been getting stolen, left and right since people knew how to copy games. You know what I'm saying? Since people could, use their 5-finger discount. You know what I'm saying? Like, games have been getting stolen for years. That's fine. But these games are getting bigger. They're getting more costly to develop and distribute, and it's just a lot of time. And you are selling these games, and now at the cost of, now you got a record. Now, I don't know if he didn't already have a record. I ain't looking to this dude too much. But now you got a record because you couldn't wait a couple more weeks to play this game. And then the funny thing is that in the thing that I read, he was streaming the game, right? And because he didn't really take the time to like go through the beginning mechanics of the game, he wasn't playing it that well. So people who were watching the stream was actually commenting how much of a noob he looked like. You know what I'm saying? He looked like a beginner because he didn't really know what the fuck he was doing. And and then I think he had posted and said how, he didn't really know what he was doing, but the game looked dope, and actually gave a shout out to Bethesda's CEO. But then you turn around and you try to sell copies of this game. And now you got criminal charges on you. Because why? What is the reason? I need for somebody to tell me what the reason is. It's because, like I said, stolen games is not nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Stolen movies, people, we've been downloading and mixing CDs with songs that we ain't paid for it for a long time. Okay. So it's nothing new, but I mean, was it, I just want to know, like, was it worth it? Like, was it worth it? Was it something that you feel good about, you know what I'm saying, on the inside and whatever? I just had to talk about that really quick because this popped up as a story I may want to know. It popped up in my feed like 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, I definitely got to do, a podcast about this. So you know what I'm saying? So there's that. So I just had to talk about that like real quick because I was sitting up here like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? I don't understand why, I just feel like social media has made a lot of common sense just like fly out the door, because I'm not giving up my freedom and my livelihood and all of that just to debut a game that's going to be fucking out in like a week. You know what I'm saying? A week or two. Like, I don't know, whatever. But then I also briefly too wanted to take the second half of this podcast is I wanted to briefly respond to somebody who left a comment on one of my videos that I had posted with my girlfriends. They had commented on my TikTok, and they were just like so for those of you who watched that episode, I had a couple of my girlfriends who were also admins, and we were talking about what it's like to be a Black woman admin in some of these nerd spaces that are, dominated by dudes, you know what I'm saying? And what we go through, what we go through as admins of some of these groups. Um, and somebody had commented on my TikTok video that was like, do you really get harassed as much as you're saying? Like, I don't believe it. I would like post the comment, but I actually forgot to screenshot that sucker before the podcast. But in response to that, and honestly, if I could remember, like even their TikTok handle, I would call it out, but I can't remember. So whatever. But I just wanted to take a second and respond to that. The answer to that question is yes. I have gotten not only harassed, but I've gotten threatened. And I'm talking like I said in that podcast, people able to search me and like look me up and find my information, like find where I live, posted my address, you know what I'm saying, threatening people in my family, all because like they have a problem. And it was always men. Yes, did I ever have disagreements and go back and forth with women members in the group? Yeah, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, especially if I feel like they're wrong and if they feel like they're not. But we don't got to agree. The rules of the group are the rules of the group. You violate the rules and I get tagged, or if I see it, I'm here to regulate. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not being biased. I'm not being preferential, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I don't know the person you arguing with, you know what I'm saying? I don't know you. Strictly business, never personal. So, and yes, there have been women who, when they don't feel like they wrong, they get a little nasty and they want to, they get a little froggy and they want to, threaten, blah, blah, block. I don't got to deal with you. You take that shit on someplace else. You know what I'm saying? You can write your local congressman and make a complaint. Like, I'm not dealing with that. You do that shit outside. But men always seem a little bit more entitled. And obviously they feel like they do. So they always feel a little bit more bold that they can just say and talk and do whatever it is they want to do without repercussions. So I absolutely have been threatened multiple times. I've been complained about by dudes to other admins who for whatever reason, they thought they thought other admins on my team was going to reprimand me, when I was like, no, here go the receipts right here while they was doing the most. They'd be like, okay, whatever, and then when they try to appeal to their fellow man, their fellow male admin, and when that fellow male admin backs me up, then they got a problem with that dude, and all of a sudden they simps and and all that. And I'm just like, can we like stop using simps when you wrong, like you the problem, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. They're not necessarily defending me. It's just I wasn't wrong. And so I've had dudes obviously try to hit on me, you know what I'm saying? But when they don't get the answer that they want, they're quick to call me a bitch, or, it's quick to say I'm ugly. And that's why okay, but you was just trying to get with me. So what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like they real quick to like flip it. And all of a sudden they try to make it be like, I'm the one who's pressed. And I'd be like, no, whatever. I done been, there was one dude who went to complain about another member. And when they sent me the link to the conversation, I was like, well, I didn't really see, too much that was out of line. So I don't really know, what you mean. And he was like, well, I just thought that person's, tone was rude. And I was like, I mean, I didn't see it as rude, but even if you felt it was rude, it wasn't violating a rule. So I just can't, kick a member out because you think that they're rude. There's got to be a violation of some sort. There's got to be somewhere where they cross the line, and I just don't see that. So, I'm not gonna, kick them out or whatever. And they were like, okay, that's cool. Well, can we be friends then? If I send you a friend request, do you want to be friends? And I was like, thank you, but no, thank you. I don't want to be friends. For the record, I try not to friend too many people or too many members that are in these nerd spaces simply because I know it's ironic, but that's kind of how I keep my business from, from my personal, you know what I'm saying? Not really pleasure, but personal. Now, that does not mean that I do that all across the board. I absolutely do have some friends, in my actual Facebook and Instagram that were friends that I met in the nerd groups. But those are people that I've conversated with. Those are people that we've shared conversations, we've debated and bantered and all of that. And we might know each other from multiple groups, and I feel cool and whatever. But this particular person, I was like, no, no, thank you. I'm thank you, but no, thank you. I'm not interested. And then he was like, may I ask why? And I was just like, it's really rare when I befriend a member of a group that I admin because I've done it a few times before and it don't really work out because the like that they have, or in some instances the stalking and the obsession that they've had, it don't it don't work and I don't feel safe. So I just kind of, put a line right there. And then he went to say something to me, cussed me out, called me a bitch, and then blocked me. And I was like, like, first of all, we're not friends. So you don't have to block me on Messenger. Like, it's like he wanted to get the last word. You know what I'm saying? So he said what he had to say, got his little spice out, and then he blocked me so I couldn't respond. And I was like, you do realize that I'm gonna see you in the group, right? And if you've blocked me on Facebook, I know you blocked me on Messenger, but if you block me on Facebook, that's a code of that's something you can't do. You can't block an admin of the Facebook groups of the ones that I, manage. You can't block an admin. That's cause for removal. So we're going to, at some point we're going to come back around and we're going to, but I don't know if his feelings was hurt, but I'm just like, I also feel like dudes, as we know, a lot of men are, hurting women, killing women over saying no to a date, saying no to giving her number. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are scared to say no to men because they're scared of what that man may do. And online, I think one of the good things about online is I could block you, I can report you, whatever Facebook does or does not do, I don't know. But I don't have to interact with you. Even if I feel like you are a problem, I don't gotta interact with you. I can block you and I will never see you in my Facebook life unless you create another account. And that has happened too. There has been situations where a few men have created additional accounts just to interact with me. It's happened on Instagram a couple of times where I had to block some people and they created additional accounts just to message me, just to interact with me. And it's just like it's not that serious. There is somebody out there for everybody, and you don't have to bombard me and stalk me and make me feel unsafe just to try to get my attention. Like, go out there and give that energy to somebody who wants it. I don't want it from you. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's somebody that I want it from, and it ain't from you. You know what I'm saying? But it absolutely has happened. And it's unnecessary, right? Like I said before, I'm a geek in this space. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nerd about some things, a geek about a whole lot of other things. So whatever anybody considers himself, the space is big enough for us all. It is not owned by men. You know what I'm saying? It is not owned by women. It is owned by all of us. Your knowledge, you may know something about something that I don't know anything about. And so, that's what it is. And then I may know some stuff that you don't know anything about. That's also what it is. There's enough for all of us. And I just need for men to stop making it seem like they own it, they're the authority, they can run everything, they can do whatever it is that they want to do, and we all just got to deal with it. So, yes, so to answer your comment to person, who I forget what that is, but I absolutely have been harassed. I absolutely have been, cussed out, you know what I'm saying? And I think any admin worth their salt, no matter who they are, male, female, whatever, I think a lot of us have been that. But I don't know too many. I personally don't know too many. Now that doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but I don't know too many men where like their address and shit has been posted by a member and threatened for that member to come and do something to them or a family member. Yes, dudes talk shit and they all big and bad. And yes, I know plenty of male admins who like be getting cussed out by members because it's whatever. But I don't know too many male admins that have had their address sent to them with a threat, accompanied with that. And that's a problem. It's just a Facebook group. There are plenty of them out there. You can even make your own if you don't like how this one is run. You don't like me, you don't like the other admins, whatever. That's the beauty of Facebook. You can make your own group and you can let it be the wild fucking West if you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But threatening other people, like it's just never that serious. And I know quite a few women admin, Black women admin, that have had that happen, and it's crazy that it comes to that over something that really should not be that big of a fucking deal. Don't break the fucking rules. You won't get kicked out. It's literally that simple. But in the words of Blade, some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. And that's when they get from the group. But I'm the problem. I'm not the problem. Well, sometimes I'm the problem. But in most instances, I'm not the problem. But some of these groups, it's like the wild, wild west out here. So, so I just wanted to respond to that really quick, and just give y'all a little bit of information because it's real. It's real and it's annoying. It's unnecessary. And it's just got to be better ways for us to be able to communicate than for it to be, threats and all that other kind of stuff. You can cuss me out. I don't got a problem with that because I'm going to cuss you out too. You know what I'm saying? Once you hit my DMs, it's no holds barred type situation. But I have never looked up somebody's address in an attempt to threaten them. And I'm never going to do that because it's not that serious. It's social media, bro. Bring it on down. So anyway, that's the podcast today. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys just try to live a better life than Darren, and if you gonna commit a crime, maybe not post that crime on social media for all to see and then be a little surprised that you get arrested. Let's all just try to start our week being smarter than that guy. So that's my podcast today. I will be talking about Starfield when it debuts because I do have it like geared up to like download on Xbox Game Pass. I am thinking about getting the upgrade because the upgrade is not that much if you've already got the standard edition. It's not bad. So I'm thinking about getting an upgrade. It really just depends on what all comes in that upgrade. So more to come. But the Twitch stream hopefully will be coming soon where I can stream some of the game. Otherwise, I will be posting clips on my YouTube channel, which is also Medusa Maybe. And that way I can share some of that and give my first initial reviews of the game coming up here in a bit. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. And then, just keep rocking with me. So I appreciate y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see y'all next time on the next one. Peace.